Hi all, myself Sai Charan. I have 8 years of experience in SAP CPI and APM management. In this demo, we will cover what is CPI, CPI or CI, why use this CI, and what is the current market demand, and what are the services available in PTP, and what are the components in CPI like adapters, message mappings, iFlows. We will cover all this overview of all these things. Okay. So first of all, CPI is a cloud platform integration. Earlier we called it CPI and now it is CI, cloud integration. This is a SaaS solution, software as a service. That is, SAP provides this solution to developers so that we will consume the services and consume their platform and build the integration flows in their platform. In their platform, in the sense, in the cloud integration platform. They give the platform, we will develop it. They give their some functionalities, options, we will consume those, we will utilize those and develop the iFlows. iFlow means integration flow. That means whenever sender system sends a message to target, in that scenario, we will come into the picture, like CPI come into the picture, and it will pick the data and transform the data and send it to target. That's the basic thing. In CI, it's like a middleware that picks the data, transforms the data, and sends to the target system. So why we need to learn this CIs? Right now, there are a lot of middleware technologies like MuleSoft, BizTalk, and Telboomi. So everybody is shifting to CPI. All the projects, BizTalk, MuleSoft projects are migrated to CPI because this is cloud one, and also which has a SAP support, which has predefined packages. If we want to connect to SAP products like SuccessFactors, it has predefined packages. We don't need to develop any high flow. It has predefined iFlows. We can simply copy it and configure it. And it has predefined connectors to the so that we can simply configure the services. For example, Jira, OneDrive, Mails. If we want to connect to multiple third-party applications, we have predefined connectors. That means APIs. We can configure it and connect to the third-party systems. And also earlier we have a PIPO system. This is also works like a CI, but that is on-premise systems. So now we got to know that this PIPO is also will deprecate soon by 2030. SAP only mentioned that. So everybody is shifting, everybody is migrating the old PIPO projects, whatever the interface that developed in PIPO, or all are migrating to CPI. So in future, there is no PIPO. That PIPO is also a SAP product, SAP PIPO, process integration and process orchestration. That is the old system. So now everybody is shifting to CI. So for the next 5 years, I would say demand is there because by 2030, all the older PIPO projects are shifting to CPI. All the old other middleware technologies like MuleSoft, BizTalk, all are shifting, in projects. Especially in my project, we have some old interfaces which uses BizTalk or MuleSoft. Now they are also migrating. All the interfaces are will deprecate soon, and we are developing a new interfaces, same like old one. Okay. And also we have support to S/4HANA cloud projects where on-prem middleware cannot be used, and automatic updates. We will get, SAP will release new updates every month and faster implementation compared to the third-party tools. So all and all, market demand is there, and we'll use this CA to connect two different systems to transform the message and send the message to the other systems. Any queries on this about the CPI? Just an overview of this. And okay, how to develop an iFlow or how to activate this service. So BTP is one of the SaaS solution, business technology platform, SAP BTP. In this BTP, we have many services, multiple services are there. Like SAP provides multiple services via this BTP platform. If you see this instance service marketplace, there are a lot of services. All the services will be utilized by many teams like SAP developers, like SAP technical team, who will create the services using ABAP, they will consume some services in BTP, and CPA developers will consume some services in the BTP. Yeah, different teams will consume different services in this BTP. Okay, we no need to learn everything. Especially for CPI, we have some services that needs to be activated. Okay, if you see this integration suite, this is the application we need to subscribe. This integration suite contains different services like API management, open connectors, cloud platform integration, where we build iFlows, integration advisor, and TPM, trading partner management. All these services are there in the integration suite. This we need to subscribe to this service. This is a trial account. Okay, we have to register in this BTP trial account, and after that we need to subscribe to activate that cloud integration suite. Yeah, BTP Business Technology Platform helps businesses to build, integrate, and expand applications. Not only for CPI, even ABAPers will also consume these services to develop Fiori applications and all. And if you see SAP Integration Suite, which includes CPI, is one of the key services offered in BTP. This is a web-based control panel. In this image, it is a trial account. In projects, generally, it's a paid version. It supports a lot of memory. For trial versions, we can see some limited memories. We can't create as many as iFlows in the CPI. You see this image, this is the integration suite. Build integration scenarios. Within that integration suite application, these are the capabilities or services. Build integration scenarios where we will build the end-to-end integrations. Manage APIs. This is for API management. Like we will create an API so that source systems, third-party applications will consume the APIs, because if they want to post any data into the SAP systems, in that case, we will create APIs in the API management. And these are extend non-SAP connectivity. These are for open connectors to connect to multiple systems. Okay. And one more thing, if source system, let's say, if the requirement is like Amazon will send the data to Flipkart, let's say, they have their own APIs. Like Flipkart can have their own API. Amazon can directly call Flipkart APIs. In that case, if the transformation is required, then only we will use CPI. If there is no transformation, then we no need to use the CPI. For example, transformation in the sense, in the source side, they will maintain the data in one format. Like they will maintain the data in XML format. Like let's say date of birth. Date of birth they will maintain in YYY DDMM format. Because of their own guidelines, they will maintain the date of birth in their format. But in receiver system, let's say Flipkart, they maintain the data in a different format. Let's say in XML with the date of birth as DDMMYYY. Like that. If they Amazon sends the data directly to Flipkart, Flipkart don't know their format, right? This DD format won't accept. And in that case, Amazon needs to do some more. The developers will do some transformation in their end, and again they have to send. That is a complex thing. Just for one interface, they can't modify their code. So we will come into the picture. We will transform that values, let's say date of birth, transform that format, and transform and convert that structure. For example, in the source side, in the Amazon, they will maintain the first name as first name field. But in the Flipkart, as a target system, they maintain the field as given name. So if I pass that first name field to target, the Flipkart won't understand that, because in their system, they configure it as a given name. They don't understand what is the first name. That system won't understand. So we will transform that source structure into a target structure, transform the values. For example, target system won't need extra spaces, extra information. For example, address, if the target system only supports 30 characters address, but source is sending more than that. In that case, it will throw an error. So we will trim it, we will cut the data, and we can send the data to target. So it's all about transforming the formats, transforming the values. If the data is like, if there is no transformation required, If the target system accepts the source data, in that case, we no need to use the CPI because it's unnecessary to transform again. They can directly send it. That's about integration suite. It has the CPI, PI, and open connectors and integration advisor. And this is the iFlow. iFlow is the integration flow which connects two different systems. If you see, sender is there. In this image, receiver is not there. Basically, we can connect sender to start to some palette functions are there. That means we can simply drag and drop. We no need to do any coding. Just drag and drop the functions. But we need to know at which step we need which palette function. We shouldn't add multiple palette functions in different steps. We need to know exactly at which step we need to use that specific palette function. There are multiple palette functions are there. We need to know each and every palette function at which what it does. Drag and drop, and inside that palette function we have some configurations. We need to know that configurations what it will do. For example, here content modifier is one of the palette function. That means predefined SAP already developed this palette function using their own code. We no need to again write any code for this. For example, this content modifier, it modifies the content or converters, JSON to XML or XML to JSON converters. We no need to write any code. That existing functionality is already there. We drag that converter palette function here, and it that will convert the XML payload into a JSON payload. Okay. Just a palette functions, drag and drop, but we need to know that configurations, what are the configurations available within that palette function. So in this diagram, in this image, what we are doing is we are connecting sender to start. This HTTP is a connector or adapter. That means to connect the sender to CPI. CPI is, let's call this integration process a CPI. We're connecting sender to CPI, and to receiver also we can connect. Like we are sending the message to third-party systems. In this adapter, what we will do is we add address. Like if we want to send a message to target, we need address. To where to send, we need that API address. We need credentials because we can't simply send the message to target. They have authentication like basic username and password or OAuth, client ID, client secret, that is OAuth, client certificate based authentication. Different types of authentications are there in CPI. So we need to know, they will share during the business discussions. They will share the target APIs, credentials, everything, so that we will use that address and we can connect to third party systems. So what about sender? They will connect to CPI, right? In that case, we need to share API to sender tips. So how we can do it is we will connect to the sender to start. We need to provide an endpoint. Endpoint means, for example, let's say Facebook. When we go through the Facebook pages, in the URL there will be multiple resources like slash profile, www.facebook.com/profile /friends /posts. Whenever you click on any web page, that endpoint will change. Okay, that is called endpoint or resource, we can call it. So this CPI, the host will be same. Host means for Facebook, facebook.com is the host, flipkart.com is the host, like that. After that, endpoint is different. We need to provide an endpoint here so that in the CPI monitoring page, it will generate a URL. We need to share that URL to source team, sender team. They will trigger a message to our CPI using that URL. And also credentials. In CPI, we will always provide OAuth credentials, which has client ID, secret, and token URL. That is the authentication will follow. They will generate a token and will share it, send the message to us. Then we will transform it and again send the message to target system. That's what we will do in iFlow. Design iFlows using web-based editor with the drag and drop tools. There are a lot of steps, message mapping, routing, content modification, everything. Multiple palette functions are there, and pre-built 5 flows like to connect to success factors. SuccessFactors is a SAP product. SAP SuccessFactors deal employee management, like if a employee join and it's like hire, rehire, terminate, all these things. HR management we will do in SuccessFactors. So if you want to connect to SuccessFactors, we have pre-built iFlows. We can copy it and configure it. Even we don't need to do this drag and drop things. Maintain the data in different way. So they don't understand, the target system won't understand. So we are transforming it and giving that, sending that message to target. So how do we know this target structure, this source structure? They will give us, like source system will send that source schema. Target system team will give the target schema to us so that we can configure it. This is the best example, like how we are transforming. This is the one-to-one mapping. Okay. In the message mapping, there are a lot of complex transformations are there. Adapters, as I said, these are like connecting to third-party systems, are connecting to SAP systems. We use these connectors, HTTP, SOAP, SFTP. There are a lot of adapters are there. Depends upon the message type. If it is XML or JSON, we will use HTTP. If it is a SOAP message, we will use SOAP adapter. If the message is IDOC, we will use IDOC adapters. If it is a file based, then we will use SFTP adapter. So depends upon the message types. We will use different types of adapters. And this is APM management, SAP APM management. We will use API management if third-party cloud application wants to post any data, get any information from SAP systems. In that case, SAP won't allow third-party application calls directly into this SAP because of some security reasons. In that scenarios we will use API management. So in API management, we will create a API, and the backend is SAP. We connect to SAP system, and this API management will generate a one more proxy API, and that proxy API will be consumed by source team, sender team to get the information from SAP or to post the information to SAP. That's about SAP API management. In the API management, we can control the traffic. If we expose this API, in a single minute, third-party systems can call multiple calls, and that will impact the load in SAP in a single second. If we receive multiple calls, more than 1,000 or 2,000 calls in single second, that will definitely impact the load, impact that performance in SAP. So using this API management, we can control the traffic. We can allow limited calls, like 5 calls in 1 second or 5 calls in 1 minute. We can limit this traffic so that there will be no more performance issues in SAP and no issues on load. In that case, we will use this API management. So even in the API management, there are a lot of services. Quota policy, that means managing the traffic. Service call, internally we can call SAP system to pick the data. A basic authentication policies to authenticate with SAP systems. So there are a lot of policies are there. We're not covering everything at this demo. Yeah. So all and all, uh, that's it from my end. So all and all, this is the overview of CPI and components and services of this.